I am knowledgeable, resilient, and excellent. I'm a fountain of knowledge, an ardent problem solver. I'm a voracious learner. Nothing is too difficult for me to master. I'm a doer with genius intellect. I am a cyber girl.
Ladies, welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited that we could make it into the second session in our LinkedIn Visibility Masterclass series. Are you excited to be here? Okay, I can see a lot of comments. We are live. Tell me, just post the flag for to represent the country where you're currently in. Just post the flags. Let me begin to see those flags coming in, and let me see the excitement build up. Okay, I see Esther Ogechi. Hi. I see Miriam. I see Gloria Wayanga. I see Rita Wodo. I see all the excitement coming in. Fantastic. I see Mbadiwe. I see Rosemary Okot. Nice. I see you all. I see Eunice Lambe. I see all of you. Fantastic. So what we're quickly going to do is we are going to say the Cyber Girls mantra. Are we ready for the Cyber Girls mantra so that we can start? So I would say first line, and then you would, say the next line, okay? Or rather, you say the same thing after me. So let's go. 1, 2, ready, go. I am knowledgeable, resilient, and excellent. Your turn. Okay. I am a fountain. Can we move, please, technical team? I am a fountain of value and an ardent problem solver. Your turn. I am a voracious learner, so nothing is too difficult for me to master. Your turn. I'm a doer with genius intellect. Your turn. Now let's go. 1, 2, ready, go. I am a cyber girl. Now that's amazing. Welcome to this session, and I'm very excited to be taking you on. Like I promised last time, we are going to definitely be having a live session where we are auditing someone's LinkedIn account. Unfortunately, or LinkedIn profile. Unfortunately, I forgot to do the check and to just pick up someone back end who has been doing something. I will maybe put out a message on the Slack channel. I forgot to do that. So please, technical team or operations team, can you help me reach out to my EA and tell her to check for any cyber girl or 2 cyber girls that have been tagging me in posts as they make their updates on LinkedIn. She just give you 2 names and 2 links to their profiles so that we can do the audit. So we're going to work with people who have been tagging me or mentioning me in posts so that we can just quickly work with the people who are active on LinkedIn. So please, Precious, help me do that quickly. But I'll just jump right into the slides. We need to make this one fast so that I can make sure that we run through the slides, and I can also take questions, and then we do that audit. Please, can we have the slides show up? Great. So we are continuing from where we started. And please, technical team, can you let me know back in via the chat that you actually got my message? Because I don't think I've gotten any acknowledgements. Please, can I get some acknowledgement that my message has been gotten? Great. So we're going to go on to this second section. And so for this section, we are just basically going to be focusing on the practical. We have spoken a lot about, how you should not be using LinkedIn, how you should be using LinkedIn, how frequently you should be posting, how LinkedIn can help you. We've covered all of those in the previous session. Now we want to see how can LinkedIn help us begin to attract recruiters. And one of the key ways here that I mentioned in my slides is you need to be active. You have to have an active social or professional networking presence. Create that as your portfolio. So on LinkedIn, for example, you want to make sure that you have your LinkedIn up to date, the profile section, like the skeleton, what I call the skeleton, like the bare bones of your profile set up, all going. And then you need to prioritize connecting and networking with other professionals, like I mentioned, horizontally and vertically. So you need to also ensure you do that, and then look out for recruiters and begin to connect with them. But also, it's important to use your LinkedIn profile to showcase your practical experience. So, for example, I know a lot of you have been working on, sort of like building networks, using Cisco tools and all of the sort of things. How many of you have posted the output of building your own lab? How many of you have posted any of that on LinkedIn? You're not showcasing your experience, you're not showcasing your knowledge, you're not showcasing your abilities and skills if you're not doing that. And you have the knowledge to do that. But when you're not doing it, you're literally, it's you against yourself in this case. And you don't want that to be you against yourself. Oh, I see that Blessing Rhea has actually posted. That's fantastic. So you want to walk people through, not just posting it, but you also want to walk people through how you achieved it. If you make certain changes to your to maybe your network diagram, what are the implications security wise? You want to tell them how an absence of a particular section or particular element of that tool, of that that particular architecture, what the impact is. So it's not just about sharing, but you want to make sure that when you share those things, people can see your expertise through what you say, through your understanding that gets to be reflected in your caption. So please make sure that when you're sharing those things, you're walking us through the process. Maybe possibly there are many angles you can share that from. You can share the challenges you faced. And when I mean challenges, please don't veer too much into the challenges of, there was power outage, so I had to do this. Yes, that's nice to mention, but you want to keep the challenges a lot more focused on the technical challenges that you surpassed. I'm going to say that again. It's okay to be human, right, in your post, and basically talk about maybe, or when you were trying to do this, for example, or you had to do it maybe 3 times, you had to try 3 times, because each time, the internet fluctuations were causing you issues. You can mention that, and I'm saying mention. But what you should dwell on, right, should be the technical issues you may have encountered and how you solve them, because that walks somebody through your technical capacity and competency, right? So you need to make sure that you're dwelling on, when you're sharing challenges, you're dwelling on the technical side of things, and you're walking people through your process and showing people how, maybe taking out something, what the impacts. That means you really understand what you've done. It is not a slap and just move, right? So make sure you're using LinkedIn for that. You're also connecting with and being part of groups where professionals in your industry are in your country. I'm going to really, really emphasize this. Some of you are in Cameroon. Have you found out if there's a cybersecurity expert association of Cameroon in your country? Have you found that out? If you're in Nigeria, find out the requirements of the cybersecurity expert association of Nigeria. If you're in Ghana, find out there is one. If you're in Kenya, find out there is one. If you're in Zimbabwe, find out there should be one. Now, when you're part of those groups, both finding them on LinkedIn and joining the group, and then also really joining the group in terms of registering and belonging to the association and the body outside of basically the physical world, is also very important. It will open you up to work opportunities. Remember what I said, that a lot of the opportunities are not, in cybersecurity, are not advertised. They are just made available to people, like on a, I know you, or I think I like you, I know your competence, or this would be a great fit for you. That sort of thing is what happens a lot in cybersecurity. So you want to really, really maximize that. I will tell you, one of you in this cohort got something like that. I think I mentioned her in the last LinkedIn session I had. Do you know that particular girl that is one of you has now gone on to a second stage interview, and she's only been in this program for how many weeks? I think we are now week 8. Are we in week 8 or week 9? She's just in week 8 or week 9, and then she's gone on to second stage of interviews. So, and that interview or that opportunity came from just what just posting on LinkedIn, and then somebody that was a connection actually reached out and told her about the opportunity in his workplace. So it's very, very important that you actually belong to this organization, because a lot of the opportunities may never be advertised, and you get to know about them because of these relationships that you have. So please make sure that you join these associations. Okay, now really moving quickly, I mentioned around, recruiter, your LinkedIn becoming a profile, a magnet, your profile being a magnet for recruiters. And I mean by recruiters, I mean recruiters and hiring managers. Now, those are two different things. The recruiter is most likely maybe an external HR professional or an internal HR professional, right? So it could be the HR, lead or something that's reaching out to you. That's a recruiter, right? But a hiring manager could be, and some organizations don't have recruiters, right? So some hiring managers will most likely be the person you're going to be working with or reporting to, right? That is the person that you're trying to attract. That is your target audience. Don't forget, because the goal in this context that we're talking about LinkedIn is to be able to land your first cyber role, right? So the context of our conversation is mostly around just that. So if you're trying to attract a set of people, these are the key things that you want to do. The first key thing is, for your LinkedIn, you want to be able to ensure that you show up in LinkedIn search. I mean, how many of you have searched the word cybersecurity professional or cybersecurity expert on LinkedIn? I can bet you, for a lot of you, that in certain countries, I will most likely show up in that particular result. Why? I've taken time out to optimize my LinkedIn, right? So I will most likely show up in search results. Even if you ask Google, although I'm not asking you to go that way, because that takes a lot of time to build authority that LinkedIn that Google can drop your name. But basically, that is what happens, and that's what you need to optimize for on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn search allows you to basically search certain things. If people can search cybersecurity analyst, will your profile come up? When people search pension tester, will your profile come up? When people search junior analyst, junior cyber analyst, your profile come up. Those are all the things you need to begin to think about. So you need to make the most of the LinkedIn search engine optimization by optimizing your profile, so that when recruiters are searching for candidates, they can find you. And how do you do this? You make sure that your profile has keywords that employers are likely to put in the search box. I gave you guys one trick last time, and I'm going to reiterate it because it's quite an important trick. Now, that trick is look for the kind of job openings that you would like to take up, the kind of roles that you like to take up. Search them on Google or search them on LinkedIn, right? Because LinkedIn jobs gets publish a lot of this. Look for those sort of roles and look at what their requirements and their skills section is saying. Like, what do they require in terms of skills, in terms of the job description? Look for keywords from that, and where they align with where you are on your journey, please populate your LinkedIn profile with those keywords, because those keywords are things that they'll be searching for. Okay, so you find 2 or 3 words that recruiters might use to look for people like you to hire, right? And begin to put them in multiple parts of your LinkedIn. You need to put these keywords in your profile summary. I mean, I'm hoping that we all know what a profile summary is, but if you do not know, while we're doing the audits for one person, I'm going to touch on it. You need to put this on the job title. If you already have one, you have job descriptions, the skills section, very important. You need to populate your skills section. Now, I'm just going to hold that thought there. Now, when we're talking about skills section as well, when you upload your certificates, when you're doing courses on you're doing all of the programs, the courses that you are doing in Cyber Girls, right? You get a certificate, and I've said to you that you should always upload it in your certificate section. When you're uploading that certificate, you always ask you skills that you've gained. I want you to always go online on that particular platform. Let's say if you're doing Cisco, right? Go to the Cisco, the end page where your certificate comes. Usually they'll tell you the learning outcomes most times, right? They'll tell you the learning outcomes. Copy that and put it somewhere. And when you copy that and put it somewhere, make sure that when you're uploading your certificate, you add those things as your skills. Very important. So for example, you've done endpoint security and you uploaded the certificate on your certificate section. Make sure you fill out the skills to attach it there, so it will be attached there. Now, what that will do for you is that in that certificate, you can describe the skills you've gained. For example, endpoint security is a skill that you gain. Endpoint protection is a skill that you've gained. When it's showing in that section and you're doing it while you're uploading your certificate, it will automatically also populate the skills section, the dedicated skills section on your LinkedIn. So as you're uploading the profile, your certificate, you'll be killing two birds with one stone, which is that it will show up your skills, your new skills will show up beside the certification you've gotten, and it will also show up in the skills section of your LinkedIn, which also adds to your search engine optimization when those keywords are being used. So please make sure that you do that. I'm seeing a blessings question. I think you can still do it. Double check. I'm not so certain about that. Please, but just go and check. You should be able to do that. Now, once you do that, you'll be helping your LinkedIn in many angles. So make sure that while you're uploading, and if you're one that gets the certificates and you sit on them, or you get the certificates and you're like, why should I bother? I'm not going to beg you to upload them. It's for yourself. So if you don't want to do it, there is no begging you. I've spoken about it over and over again. It takes a few minutes and then you can get that up to date, right? So your skill section, your about section, I'm going to touch on that as well. Your headline, very much, we're going to really touch on that. The featured section, we're going to touch on that. I'm going to show you that. So you can put those keywords in many places. Now, request recommendations. I've spoken about this some time ago. You're working on projects right now. I'm not sure, again, if your projects right now are group projects or the individual projects. If they're group projects, then you've collaborated to work on the project. Okay, I'm going to look at this question, but please, can we have someone in the technical team actually start some of the start these questions? I think Rehan is asking a question so that I can make sure that I respond to it when we are done with the session, or whenever I'm able to. Okay, great. So I was saying that if you're working in group projects, please make sure that you get your other ladies in the group to drop recommendations for you and endorsements on your LinkedIn profile. It helps with your perception. Another key thing is, I know, don't overdo this, but if you know, when you get a mentor, and I want to really warn anybody, I want to use the opportunity to warn very seriously. We went to the ends of the earth to get you quality mentors. Like, I'm telling you that if you want to count programs in the world with quality mentors, Cyber Girls will be on top 3 for women. Cyber Girls will definitely be on top 3 for the quality of mentors we brought. So I do not want any we are not going to tolerate in this cohort. We're not going to tolerate anybody that is not turning up for mentorship calls. No way. We are going to give you very, very serious disciplinary actions, because our mentors are very quality people. Our mentors are very busy people, and they are coming to give you their time. The least you can do is also respect their time and show up for mentorship sessions. So we are not going to play with you on that angle. It's a very, very important part of this program. So please make sure you come for your mentorship sessions. Your mentors also are the kind of people that, because they're already ahead of you in the field, can drop recommendations that actually basically help your profile. So your mentors, after 1 or 2 months of mentorship, ask them nicely to please drop a recommendation. Another key thing is for your projects as well. Whoever judged your project, if you knew the person's name, not if you knew, because they'll basically say their names, and they had such a good thing to say about your project, please go and find them on LinkedIn, request them to recommend you. Those are the things you do. So begin to build like all the examples I've given you. For example, you can have at least 4 LinkedIn recommendations if you do the right things within this program. That is what I've just said to you. You can have this endorsement. They are easy peasy tips on how to do that. So please, once you have your mentor, one of the major tips I'll give anybody on Cyber Girls Fellowship, because a lot of you are not making the most of this program, and it's very sad because of how much goes into making sure we are the quality we are. I'm not even going to be humble about it. Cyber Girls provides high quality training for no fee. It's top class, world class. We've been recognized by the World Economic Forum. We've been recognized by the World Bank. So I am not going to even mince words. We are one of the best. We are the best in Africa for stats. right? So if you're not maximizing it, if you're sleeping on certain components, if you're sleeping on Cyber Friday, in fact, I'm going to be coming down hard on all of you that's been on Cyber Friday, but that's not the focus on this conversation. Cyber Friday also presents another opportunity for you to create content that shows you as knowledgeable, but I don't see many of those. That is guaranteed. Every Friday you can have a post, guaranteed. You come, you read those articles, you basically say what your thoughts are and what your own thinking about the article is, your own expert view around it, and you post it on LinkedIn. That is one post every week that is guaranteed out of the activities from Cyber Girls. Every week as well, there is a theme that we have for the week in terms of what you're learning. You can also come back and write on LinkedIn around key strategies that you picked up from maybe something you're learning, or key insights that you gain from something you're learning, and you now apply that key insight to a particular industry of choice. Some of you can say, okay, you know what, I'm targeting applying my cybersecurity skills to the FMCG space. And you begin to do, maybe you're doing GRC, you begin to create content, create things that position you as knowledgeable for risk and compliance in FMCG space, and you begin to relate that information. You begin to tie it to a fictional company that is modeling one FMCG. For example, you can say, okay, I'm going to pick up the FMCG Cadbury, right? And you're now going to begin to use risk analysis. You're going to be using what you're learning on risk and governance, risk and compliance to then apply, or even a fintech. The fintech is easy. Pick a fintech and begin to apply your knowledge every week. Begin to apply your knowledge every week. Thank you so much, Precious. I've picked some people, or rather, some people have been picked. Rafat. So Rafat Alabe Lewa, please be on standby. We're going to need you to come on live. If you're not in a place where you can come on live, please go to a place where you can come on live so that we can we'll do a preview of your we'll do a review of your LinkedIn. Great. So I was saying something. I was saying that you can take that information and begin to apply it. Now, once you apply knowledge, people know you have a deep knowledge of it. That's the truth. So it's one thing to consume knowledge and come and regurgitate it, or it's another thing to apply it. For example, somebody came off this live last time we had a live and applied the learnings that she got, and she put it in a video. I had to repost it, right? So it's very, very important that you're able to, when you're posting, which every week you're taught something, that is content for you. So begin to take that content and apply it. Okay. Priscilla says, yeah, I wasn't looking at it that way. The sharing thoughts from articles really make you look current and thirsty for it. Absolutely, Priscilla, it does make you look current. It also, for example, if you're able to just not just share your thoughts, but share solutions that actually solve that, or share thoughts, basically, it's very, very important that you do that. Have a good profile picture. I'm not going to dwell so much on this because it's very easy and we're running out of time. I really need to run and ensure that we are doing so much in terms of practical on this session. So having a good profile picture is very, very important. Go to a studio somewhere close to your house or around, take a high-res picture, dress in formal outfits, take a good headshot and put it on LinkedIn. It shows that you're professional. It shows that you're ready for certain kind of opportunities. Have a good profile summary section. So you want to make sure that your profile, your about section showcases your skills, it showcases your experiences and your career goals, right? It also uses keywords that are relevant to your industry, and then it ends with some call to action, because again, you want people to do something. So for example, my call to action right now on my own LinkedIn profile is basically around speaking, because I'm not looking for new roles, new opportunities. And even if I was, I mean, that's not the way. I'm not starting off my career, right? So I'm not going to be doing it the way you're going to be doing. So right now, I'm looking out for what I'm doing now is more board roles, more expert speaking opportunities. So if you check at the end of my profile, you would see that the call to action is around speaking. So the kind of opportunities you're seeking will determine the closing section, right, of your about section. Now, I'm going to really move on really quickly. Another key thing to make your profile very, very attractive is employers will look at your skills to see if what you have is what they want to do, what it takes to, sorry, employers will look at your skills to see if you have what it takes to be a new hire. You know, how does it align with them? They'll look at the job titles you've had, all of the experiences. Now, if you're transitioning, good, this is what I didn't want to make sure, I want to make sure I don't forget. If you're transitioning to cybersecurity from another field, you want to, here is the point where you actually really want to make a connection. Make a connection in your about section, because that's one point where your about section is going to be able to tell the story of, you know, why you're coming to cybersecurity, what the transferable skills were, you know, that you're coming with, you know, how all of your experiences or not feeds into the unique value point that you're going to bring in, right? Make sure that your skills again showcases your core cybersecurity skills very prominently. You don't want to be making any other thing more prominent than that if it's a cybersecurity role that you're looking for, right? You want to include technical skills and human skills. I mean, people call them soft skills, right? You want to ensure that you're really highlighting your technical skills very well, please. A lot of you already have so much technical skills, but I'm not seeing it in your LinkedIn profiles. From what you've already learned in these 8 weeks, I'm not seeing it on your LinkedIn profile, and you need to change, right? So keywords, you need to highlight your keywords. I'm not going to speak so much about your certificate and education, because again, that is a given. Aside uploading as a post, when you post, you do a post, it's different from putting it in your profile. The thing is, a post is not something that people will come and find, you know, every time they come. For example, I was 40 under 40 in cybersecurity globally. I was named 40 under 40 in cybersecurity globally last year. How many of you can see that post on my profile today? No, it's nowhere on my profile. So the only way I could make sure people don't forget that I was listed as 40 under 40 in cybersecurity last year is that if you go to the about section on my LinkedIn, you'll find it there. At some point, it was in the featured section, but I took it out. But if you go on my about section, you're going to see it there. You're also going to see that I was cybersecurity one of the world. There is no way that you are going to see it anywhere else, because that post has long. It was post that I made since last year. I think last year September was when I won that award. Yeah, September, October was when I won that award. And that October post, of course, before you can scroll all the way to my October post, is a long way to go. So that is the difference between posting and putting it on your profile. Because anytime anybody lands on your profile 2 years from now, 3 years from now, they will not need to do a long scroll, they'll find it there. So ensure that when you're posting about your certificates and you're saying, and people are congratulating you, don't forget to know that you need to put that also on your profile, because those posts will get pushed down over time by other posts you're going to make in the future. So of course I put some key things here that you should note. Chido is saying, what about integrating? I think I answered this question, so I'm not going to answer it again. Please watch the recording from last time. I really took time to answer this question. So Chido and Mary Cynthia, very clearly you were not in the last session, or you were not listening, because I answered this question very well. So please tell me, were you in the last session? If you were and you missed that, maybe we can sprinkle some thoughts on it. But please go back and watch that recording. I took my time and I broke down around how you can basically merge the two and what it implies, and not basically pushing that away. Also, I was going to say something about your feed. Make sure that your feed, which is basically your feed, is what you're posting and reposting. And like I mentioned earlier on in our last session, please make sure, Chido, were you there the whole time? I've just seen that you were there, but were you there the whole time? Somebody should remind her, because I know I broke down. Somebody asked a question around transitioning, and yes, I actually broke it down. Thank you so much. I broke it down how this should happen. So Mary Cynthia, please watch the recording. Someone just said towards the end was when I answered. Yeah, because it was during question and answer session that I actually tackled this. So a next key thing I want to mention is your profile. Remember that it's not just your post that will be there. It will also be your shared post or your reposted post. So I want to say something which I said last week, but it's so important I have to say it again. Please, when you repost people's ideas, it's good for them. fantastic. I would say thank you so much to all the cyber girls that always engage my post and repost. But it doesn't do much for you. So if you must reshare people's posts, this is what you do. You repost it, but add your thoughts. Join the conversation by adding your thoughts. So I don't want any one of you to repost a post anymore just like that after attending this session. Make sure that your repost is basically a repost with your thoughts. And then you should also have more original posts than those reposts, if possible, right? So make sure that you do all of that. Repost with your thoughts and then create original content as well. And there are many content types. There are carousels, there are image posts. You can just put a picture of yourself and then you say something. But like I said last time, please make sure that you always has media. Make sure that there is a screenshot, there is a picture, there is a picture of you, or a picture of something of interest, or a picture that you can sort of relate to what you're saying, or there is a video of yourself or something that is related to that thing you're saying. Please make sure you do that. Now let's move really fast. Other tips also you want to do: open to job opportunities, so that you can signal that you want to make sure that your professional headline is very, very clear and it highlights your expertise and type of roles that you're seeking. And then you also want to put what you're interested in or getting into or becoming. It's very important that you add that. You also add your headline, your why, and I'm going to really touch on that. So I'm not going to sit on this slide more. I want to show you exactly how to do it. You're also going to be needing to put your relevant skills, the relevant skills you bring to the table. Make sure that those are there. But one last thing I want to mention that is very, very small. Please, I see a couple of you have things written in your headline and it's in all caps. Please stop it. When you write in all caps, you're screaming. So if you don't know the ethics of writing, when you write in all caps or you end with multiple exclamation marks, you're screaming at the reader. So imagine that you're talking to me now and you're shouting at the top of your voice. I can't really scream, right? And you're shouting at the top of your voice. You're shouting at the top of your voice. That's exactly how it is. It's rude and it doesn't look nice. It looks tacky. If you go to my profile, do you see anything that I write in all caps? No. So please make sure that you're not writing anything in all caps. I see some of you, your headline, you're writing everything in all caps. That is absolutely not nice. It doesn't look nice and it looks tacky, and it actually also means in writing speak. When you write in all uppercase or you write in exclamation marks at the end, even when you're writing emails, it translates to people as you are screaming. That is exactly how you're not talking with your normal voice, you're screaming or you're shouting at people. So please stop it. Don't write any post, don't write any headline or anything with all caps, except you want us to also slap you when you scream. I'm joking though, but you know what I mean. So please do not do that. But now, because I said this session is going to be one that is going to be very practical, and after it, I'm going to send you a workbook, I want you to come up with things to do. So I have put together the headlines or sample headlines for different fields or different tracks within CyberGirls, right? So I'm not saying copy this verbatim, but please let it inspire you to actually take action and change your headline, please. So if you're maybe basically looking to start a career in SOC, you want to say things like, I will even remove the word future self. SOC analyst, you can say SOC analyst dedicated to proactive threat detection and incident response. You see that there are keywords there. You have put the word SOC analyst, so you're going to be found with the word SOC analyst. You're going to be found with threat detection. You're going to be found with incident response. Those are keywords. And then you put a slash again and put some tools that you use, some tools you've learned, and you keep adding some tools that you know how to use now. How many of you know how to use Wireshark now? How many of you know how to use Linux operating system? You put it there, you put Linux, you put the tools that you know will most likely be, or you have found in those job descriptions that I say you should go and look at. I'm telling you, job descriptions are the biggest expo you can get into what recruiters are looking for. Okay, so go and look for them. Are there tools that they say that you know how to use in those job descriptions? Pick the most of them that you see very often. put them at the end of your headline. That increases your discoverability to a very high level, right? So that is for a SOC analyst. See the different examples that I had to put. So these slides are going to be shared with you. Please let these things inspire you. Don't copy and paste like that. Bam. Add your personality, add something, and then of course add what's it called again? Add the tools at the end of it. And yes, it does help to say Cyber Girls Fellowship 4.0 or Cyber Girls Fellow 4.0 or whatever. Add that, and then you have a headline. If you're a penetration tester, these are some examples I also have here. I have for everybody. Please don't rush. Don't worry. I have for everybody. So for a penetration tester, you say passionate about penetration testing, identifying vulnerabilities to strengthen cybersecurity. So the second part is basically your why. Why are you interested in this field? Or who exactly do you want to serve? Those are the key things. So remember that I said these are examples. So if, for example, you can replace the why, which is the second section. You can replace the second section with who you want to serve or the kind of industry you want to go into. That can be what you want to do, right? If you're really targeting those things. So for example, you can say dedicated to vulnerability and assessment and penetration testing, and you put the slash helping fintechs fight against cyber threats. You see, that's an example, right? So that is what you can say. You can say goal-oriented vulnerability assessment and penetration tester. In fact, remove the in training, but you can have it there for now. If you're not too sure of yourself, have it there for now. You can have passionate about ethical hacking. You can say, you can follow up with the industry or maybe your why or who you want to serve. Okay. Yeah, Faith, I've said you're going to get the slides. Don't worry yourself. Don't worry, you're going to get the slides. I'm not sure how large. I mean, that's something you can Google. Okay, Google how many text, how many words can be your headline. But I mean, a headline is maximize it, max it out, right? Make the most out of it. This is for critical infrastructure security people. So you want to say then you can even relate this to your country, because most likely your first jobs will most likely be in your country. It's very unlikely that it's less likely that you're going to get a job outside your country than within your country. So basically, you can say something like committed to safeguarding Kenya's critical infrastructure, then mitigating vulnerabilities and enhancing preparedness. You can say something like driven to, or you can say critical infrastructure security analyst, dedicated to strengthening the defense of essential services that protect civilization, or essential services in the healthcare industry, essential services in the production and manufacturing sectors, in blah, 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 blah. You can say in the health. Basically, you can customize this, add your own perspective, your own personality, and the things that you really, really want to do. You can put it here. Lizzie said, is it permitted for someone to? Yeah, you can do that. You can put that. Okay. So for governance, risk and compliance, or you can say cyber safe. Lizzie, you can say cyber safe fellow. Okay, cyber safe foundation fellow. I think that would be an easier thing to say. Okay, or rather, a more accurate thing to say is cyber safe foundation fellow. Okay, so in governance risk and compliance, you can basically say something. Please be removing this future. I don't know why I won't put it. Remove this future. Say GRC analyst, and then you put navigating complex compliance landscape for business success, especially in the aviation industry. Now, this is also where, for example, where you're coming from can also help you. If, for example, your experience is from maybe your former roles were in the healthcare sector, you can basically fuse it in here, or not basically, but basically it will help you to put in your own context into your headline, something that is unique to you. All right. I see Faith's message saying, after this session, my LinkedIn profile will receive sense. It has to receive sense, because I'm not going to forgive anybody if after this session your LinkedIn still looks blur. Nah. Let me tell you something. And I want to say there are two key things. There are people who can hear so much information. You get so much, you get access to so much information. And the information is actionable. but the information will not do itself. What do I mean by that? It will not implement itself. You need to implement it. So if you're one of those people who are in cyber girls, just here, you have access to this sort of information that a lot of people do not have access to, and you not take action. It is on your head. So make sure that you're taking action with the knowledge you're getting here. Second key thing I want to say is that cyber girls are known for having great LinkedIn profiles. It's sort of like a thing they say in the community. When I was looking at, is this person, and also, oh, she was a cyber, she's a cyber girl. It's like, no wonder her LinkedIn profile looks like this. It is one of our cornerstones. So if you're not falling in line and doing what you need to do for yourself, I mean, there's how much anyone can push you. We have only brought you to the riverbank. We cannot make you drink water. Nobody can make you do that. In fact, we're too busy to make you do that. We're too busy with the people who want to apply this knowledge and make it work for them to be bothered about whether or not you don't want to do it for yourself. Because we brought you here and we've given you information that a lot of people do not have, right? And it's all for free. So for DevSecOps, you want to also, again, remembering that for DevSecOps, you most likely cannot be in DevSecOps if you do not have a software engineering background. Like, that is a no-no. It's not going to happen. So please, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen that you're going to have, you're going to be let into the DevSecOps track. So if you're definitely a software engineer, then you should mention it here, right, in your headline. You say DevSecOps engineer with a background in software engineering, championing secure DevOps practices to accelerate software delivery. Okay, you can do that. Or you can even see something like DevOps architect, designing secure, scalable, and efficient development pipelines. They are all keywords. They're the keywords that are scattered all over that stuff. And you can even say committed to secure code, and committed, passionate DevSecOps professional, enabling secure by design, secure by default. Many of those very keywords, put them there. And then you put your tools, the tools that you know how to use, the tools you use to test, the applications that you're going to be testing or that you'll be taught to use. Okay, so please, this is something that you must do. I think I saw a question that I want to really quickly answer, which is around, someone was saying co-act. So please, is LinkedIn Premium really something relevant? Yes, LinkedIn Premium is good for you if you can afford it. And I think there was somebody that was giving Christabel, I think Christabel in our team was helping people with getting the LinkedIn Premium for free. I don't know if she still has those vouchers, but a key thing to note is whether or not you have premium, do the best with what you have is what I'll always advocate for. So don't be hung up on it if you cannot afford it, but LinkedIn Premium is good to have. It helps your visibility and it helps with a lot of things. So yeah. So Chebaka is saying, should I have my old experience in biochemistry and international student group? If it's an experience, why not? You should still be there, but it should not be highlighted, or rather, you should find a relationship. If you cannot find a relationship and how you can type the cybersecurity, please let it not be in your about section. Please, whatever you want to highlight is what you're going to be in your about section, or what you can find in synergy. And remember, the focus is on cybersecurity roles. And unfortunately, cybersecurity is quite a jealous lover. It's not one field you can do as a side gig. You know how like you can do what's it called again? You can do graphics design on the side. What can you do on the side? There are many things you can do on the side, but please, cybersecurity is not one of those things you can do on the side. So for anybody trying to give you a role, they have to see it centered in your life, because that's exactly what it requires to actually grow and do well. So it has to be centered, and that needs to be shown even in your LinkedIn profile. Please, this question should be getting started so they don't get lost. Please, someone in the technical team, please be really looking through. I need this question start. So I'm not tasked with thinking, how am I going to keep up with it? Please. Temitope Ilori. No, I don't want two people from Nigeria, please. I want someone else. I don't want two people from Nigeria. I picked Rafat. Now, Rafat is most likely from Nigeria. Oh, sugar. I don't have LinkedIn on this account, on this. Rafat is most likely from Nigeria. I don't want another Nigerian. Okay, so great. So that means a lot of you that are not from Nigeria are not been tagging me. That's what this means. So I don't know. I hope they find someone else. Let's go on. Digital forensics and threat intelligence professionals. This is also something for you. Remember, add your tools at the end. Add your tools at the end. add your tools at the end. Sample why for network security engineers. Please, Rafat, please be on standby. Rafat, please be on standby. I see you. What's her name again? I see someone that said, please pick me. We are not starting these questions. Please, what's happening? Someone is not, they're not starting. They still at 2-star. They still at 2-star. What's happening, technical team? Okay, so still is saying my impressions went from 10 or 20 to over 1,000 after I applied some of what CS told us. Like, fantastic. That's great. Did you say, did you mean 10 or 20? Is that what you meant? Because I think there's a little mistake in what you wrote. But yeah, it went up to that over what? Over 10-fold increase in her views. Oh, more than 10. What am I saying? Over 1,000, percent increase in her views. That's fantastic. So this is for network engineers. Hamidat is asking a question. Please, can we start those questions? Great. I think I'll answer the question before I go on to demo. But please, Rafat, really be on standby. I think that's Rafat Alabalewa. Please be on standby. And then we have another person that said, please pick me. Please pick me. So someone that said, please pick me. That's not from Nigeria. I saw her post just now. I can't find her anymore. I can't find her anymore. Yes, I can see her. Nelisiwe in Lalosi. Please, can somebody reach out to her and get her? Oh yeah, so Titilopo is saying we moved from 10 to 20 to actually over 1,000. Great. Please, can we get Nesliwe's LinkedIn? Honestly, we can just post it here, and then I don't know. Problem is, I'm not logged in here on my LinkedIn. I'm going to try and quickly get that sorted. But you don't know what to post on it. We need to finish this really quickly. First thing you want to post, of course, there are many post ideas, but this was really quickly what I could do. Certificates and learnings, industry news and trends, tips and best practices, projects and hands-on experience, learnings from challenges, and just things that you want to teach people. Okay, things that you want to teach people, things that will be valuable to position you as a person that's knowledgeable enough for the roles that you want. Don't forget that. That is the goal for now and the context of this conversation. So we're going to go on to the live audit. All right, let's go on to the questions while we get the live audit people up and coming, because this is the end of the presentation itself. So let's go to the questions so I can answer the questions. And please, back-end team, can you help me get Rafa to come on live so she can also share her screen as well, because we need to see her LinkedIn. We need to see her LinkedIn. Okay, so for start questions, I'm going to begin to ask questions. First, or rather answer the questions. When sharing my cybersecurity experiences, which one is best, LinkedIn post or starting a LinkedIn newsletter? I would say LinkedIn posts, because newsletter requires sort of a bit of an audience for it to really garner steam, and it needs to be themed. LinkedIn newsletters need to be themed. So what is the theme around which you're building your newsletter, right? And when you're starting out, as in you don't have an audience yet, which is what I think I think you are. You want to prioritize having stuff that's out there and not necessarily inside your newsletter. Yes, things that you post in your newsletter get to be on your timeline, but it also limits the kind of post can make, because that your newsletters are more articles than anything else, right? There are other give me a second, please. There are other kinds of posts you can put. You can make a carousel, you can make an image and just caption it, that sort of thing. So there are definitely other kinds of accounts that you, or other kind of posts that you can make, and that I encourage you to make, that a LinkedIn newsletter just limits you on. Is Rafat available now? If great, okay, so Rafat, yeah, fantastic. Can you share your screen? Are you doing from your mobile phone? Okay,
Yeah, fantastic.
no,
Can you share your screen?
no, just hold on. Technical team, can you help me? Can you help me do that? Like, share your screen and show Rafat's profile. Rafat, I'm hearing myself.
Can you help me do that? Like, share your screen and show Rafat's profile. Rafat, I'm hearing myself.
Can you hear me now, ma?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you and I'm not hearing myself, so that's good. We're good to go. Please, can the technical team help? Because I think you're joining from your mobile phone, correct?
Yes, ma. Should I switch to my PC?
If possible, yes, please switch to your PC.
Okay, ma.
Yeah. While Rafat is switching to her PC, please let's have okay, well, I've already picked somebody. I've already picked this lady on the chat. But because my E has already sent me another name, I'm just going to go with that one too. Gamochiria Blessing. Gamochiria Blessing. I think she is in South Africa. Great. So Gamochiria Blessing, please be on standby. Be on standby. I love your profile already. So beautiful. I love this. Okay. So Gamochiria, are you here? Let me know that you're listening to me and you're here. Is Gamochiria Blessing here? Gamochiria Blessing, please, I want to know that you are here. Gamochiria Blessing. Gamochiria Blessing Muchafa. Please. Is she here? I'm going to have to move on really quickly if she's not here. Say I am here if you are, please. I want to see that you are here. Is Gamu here? I see people are calling her Gamu. That's a nice short form of her name. Where is Gamu? If she's here, please, can she turn on, like, can she come on live? Okay, so we're going with Gamu since they say she's here. So we're going to go with Gamu and we're going to go with Rafat. But I'm going to quickly wait for either of them to come on. The team is going to contact you. So I'm going to go on to the next question while we're waiting for them to come on. Oh, Precious is saying she doesn't think Gamu is on the call. Oh no, she's on the call. As people are mentioning her name, please. Tech team. People are mentioning her name as M Blessing Ria. So that's her name. M Blessing Ria. Okay, welcome back, Rafat. M Blessing Ria. Can you see her, Precious? They say she's on the call. And then she's asking how she can connect. So please, if maybe you can send her on Slack. Send her the link. Good. Send her the link to join. So, Rafat, please go ahead and let's see your LinkedIn profile really quickly. I'm also going to be looking at it from this computer because I don't have LinkedIn logged in on my desktop. I have it on my laptop. And I'm very happy I picked Blessing because she's been very, very active on this live anyway. So good thing I picked her. All right, a good thing my executive assistant sent me her link. So we're going to be doing an audit first for Rafat. By the way, starting off, Rafat, your profile picture is fantastic. I really liked it when I saw it. Rafat, can you hear me? Rafat, can you hear me? Okay, Blessing, they say you're not responding on Slack. Can you go on Slack? Blessing, Gamu, can you go on Slack? They need to send you a link so that you can join the live stream, but you're not responding, is what I'm getting as feedback. Please go on Slack, Gamu. Go on Slack and respond to the admin team. They have sent you a link, okay? Or rather, they most likely have sent you a link. Rafat, your audio is off. You're muted. Rafat, you're muted. And then admin team, please, once I respond to a question, please unstar it so that it leaves my list. Rehan's question has been answered, but it's still here. Unstar her and unstar Blessing. Blessing is the last question, the last one. I think you just brought that to my attention so that I could see it. But please, since we found her, we can take it off. Good. So I don't have 6 people to respond to. And if you have questions, please start to put them so that we can also have them start and I'll look at them and answer them. Rafat, can you sort out your issue with the audio so we can go on? But while we are getting that done, please, I want Gamu also online really quickly. So if Rafat is having issues, we can go Gamu first and then come back to Rafat. Somebody said, can our cyber girls training and experience be placed in work experience or education section on LinkedIn?